Alrighty, I got a package here from Retro Modding. Now, typically I order this kind of stuff from Handheld Legend. I've ordered lots of stuff from them. I've never had any issues with their service. I've always gotten the correct parts. Nothing's ever been broken. But several of you have pointed out that Retro Modding ships from Canada. They're based out of Montreal, Quebec. And so for me in Canada, it's going to be a lot cheaper. It was a lot cheaper for shipping to order stuff from Retro Modding. The prices are about the same as Handheld Legend, but the shipping is a lot cheaper for me. So again, I still like Handheld Legend. I think if you're in the United States, you should probably order from Handheld Legend because they ship from the US. For you, it'll probably be cheaper and quicker. But if you live in Canada like me, it might be worth checking out Retro Modding. All right, this thing's awesome. The quality of the shell is great. The buttons feel great. I did realize what part of the sticker was for once I got it together. It would be to hide the bottom part of this LCD that you can see below the bezel, but I still think it looks cool. Turn this thing on. Bam, looks outstanding. I mean, I knew it's an IPS panel. We've seen them before. They look great. But the fact that this one's a little bit bigger is nice. I like the way they've improved the touch sensor. Yeah, the other great thing about this kit, it's called the Q5, and I'm thinking that's because it's a 5x scale, I think. I think this is a 5x scale on the horizontal and the vertical. And so what they can do with the extra resolution is some scanline features. It kind of makes it look a little more like it's an original Game Boy Color screen, but just the way it has the little gap in between the pixels. So it gives you those options. You can turn those features on if you want. You can also change the color that the Game Boy Color logo lights up. I think I mentioned that earlier, but that's done with the select and the start buttons. Real easy to pick the color that you want. Again, hold start and select to exit, and your Game Boy Color will light up that color. I picked green. Obviously, this whole thing is orange and green, and the green is nice and bright. Looks really nice when it's lit up on that orange bezel. And wow, this screen looks amazing. It was super easy to install in this shell. Literally no modifications required whatsoever. The screen just drops right into that shell. Everything buttoned up nice. Again, the quality of the shell was really good. All the ports lined up really nice. Didn't strip any screws putting it back together, which I have done on some aftermarket shells. Even being somewhat careful, I've stripped screws. So I would say quality of the shell is pretty decent, and the fact that it's pre-cut for this laminated Q5 larger IPS screen drops right in. You don't need to buy like mounting bezels or try and like tape the screen in a way where you've got to get it like dead straight and centered. This thing just locks right in, fits like a glove, and that makes the installation a little easier. Soldering start and select was definitely the hardest part. Those were tiny little vias on the motherboard, tiny little holes with a little bit of copper exposed. Basically where you had to solder those wires for the start and select. That's probably the smallest thing I've ever soldered to, so that was a little tricky, but overall not too bad, and it turned out great.